Hello and a very warm welcome. I'm Kiwiat Du and I'm delighted you could join me. We are about to embark on an extraordinary journey not across continents or oceans but through the vast, sweeping sands of time itself. Our destination is a land of myth, majesty and enduring mystery, ancient Egypt. For millennia, this civilization flourished along the fertile banks of the Nile, creating a world so advanced and so unique that its echoes can still be felt today. It was a world governed by the rhythm of the river, the will of the gods, and the ingenuity of its people. Today we will peel back the layers of history to uncover 5 truly remarkable facets of this bygone era. We will explore the very foundations of their society, from the ingenious weapons that secured their empire, to the sophisticated farming techniques that fed their millions. We will taste the staples of their diet, delve into the profound spiritual beliefs that shaped their every action. So, prepare to be astonished. The story of ancient Egypt is not merely one of pharaohs and pyramids. It is a rich tapestry woven with threads of innovation, faith, and a deep abiding connection to the natural world. Let us begin our exploration into the secrets of this incredible civilization. In the theater of ancient warfare, survival and dominance depended not just on numbers, but on technological superiority. The ancient Egyptians, often perceived as builders and farmers, were also formidable warriors, and their arsenal was a testament to their innovative spirit. One of their most iconic and fearsome creations was the khopesh. Not quite a sword, not quite an axe, this sickle-shaped blade was a marvel of design. Its curved edge was brutally effective for hooking an opponent's shield or limb, creating openings in enemy lines with a terrifying efficiency. But their mastery was not confined to close combat. From a distance, the Egyptian archer was a force to be reckoned with. They developed the composite bow, a complex weapon constructed from layers of wood, horn, and sinew. This design stored immense energy, allowing arrows to be fired with greater force, accuracy, and range than the simple bows of their rivals. An army equipped with these advanced bows could unleash devastating volleys upon an approaching enemy, disrupting formations and sowing chaos long before the front lines ever clashed. The chariot, too, was a cornerstone of their military might. While not an Egyptian invention, they perfected its use, turning it into a fast, mobile platform for archers. A squadron of chariots thundering across the desert plains was a terrifying sight. The combination of the khopesh for the brutal melee, the composite bow for long-range destruction, and the chariot for strategic mobility, made the Egyptian army one of the most powerful and successful military forces of the ancient world for centuries. The very existence of ancient Egypt, a vibrant jewel in a vast desert, was owed to a single life-giving artery, the Nile River. Every year, like clockwork, the great river would swell its banks, overflowing to deposit a rich, black layer of silt across the floodplain. This annual inundation was the secret to their prosperity. This fertile soil, a gift from the heart of Africa, was incredibly rich in nutrients, allowing for bountiful harvests year after year without depleting the land. The Egyptians saw this not as a mere geological event, but as a divine blessing, the very pulse of their world. To harness this gift, the Egyptians developed sophisticated systems of irrigation, a remarkable feat of engineering for their time. They were masters of water management. They dug a complex network of canals and channels to divert the floodwaters to fields further from the riverbank, effectively expanding their arable land. They also invented the shadoof, a simple but ingenious counterweighted lever system used to lift water from the river or canals into irrigation ditches. This device allowed them to water their crops even during the dry season, ensuring a stable and reliable food supply for a growing population. Upon this fertile, irrigated land, they cultivated a variety of essential crops. Emmer, wheat, and barley were the cornerstones of their agriculture, providing the raw materials for their 2 dietary staples, bread and beer. They also grew an abundance of vegetables such as onions, garlic, leeks, and lettuces, as well as fruits like figs, dates, and pomegranates. Flax was another vital crop, not for food, but for producing linen, the primary textile for their clothing. This intricate dance between the river, human ingenuity, and the fertile soil was the foundation upon which their entire civilization was built. If one could sit down for a meal in ancient Egypt, the menu would be both familiar and surprising. The absolute pillars of their diet were bread and beer, consumed by everyone from the lowliest farmer to the pharaoh himself. Bread was so central to their existence that it was often used as a form of payment for laborers. They cultivated different grains to produce a wide variety of breads, from coarse, gritty loaves for the masses to finer, sweeter cakes enriched with honey and fruit for the wealthy. The grinding of grain and the baking of bread was a constant, daily ritual in every Egyptian household. Beer was not merely an alcoholic beverage, it was a primary source of nutrition and was considered safer to drink than potentially contaminated water from the canals. Egyptian beer was thick and hearty, more like a liquid porridge than the filtered lagers we know today. It was rich in vitamins and proteins, making it an essential part of the daily calorie intake. The brewing process was often depicted in tomb paintings, showing workers mashing bread and water in large vats and allowing it to ferment. For the Egyptians, a meal without bread and beer was simply incomplete. Beyond these staples, the Egyptian diet was supplemented by the bounty of their fields and the river. Onions, garlic, and radishes were incredibly popular, believed to provide strength and stamina. Lentils, chickpeas, and beans provided valuable protein. The Nile offered a plentiful supply of fish, such as tilapia and catfish, which were a common source of food for the general population. While meat from cattle, sheep, and goats was available, it was generally a luxury reserved for the wealthy or for special occasions and religious festivals. This diet, rich in carbohydrates and vegetables, sustained the workforce that built the pyramids and powered an empire for 3,000 years. In ancient Egypt, the divine was not a distant concept, it was an ever-present force that infused every aspect of daily life. The world was governed by a vast and complex pantheon of gods and goddesses, each with their own domain and influence. Ra, the sun god, sailed his celestial boat across the sky each day, bringing light and life to the world. Osiris was the god of the underworld and resurrection, while his wife Isis was the ideal mother and a powerful magician. Anubis, the jackal-headed god, oversaw the sacred rites of mummification. These were not just myths, they were the fundamental explanations for the workings of the universe. The Egyptians believed that to maintain cosmic order, or Ma'at, it was essential to honor and appease these deities. This relationship was managed by the pharaoh, who was seen as the intermediary between the gods and humanity, and by a powerful priesthood that conducted daily rituals in magnificent temples. These temples were not places of public worship, but were considered the literal homes of the gods on earth. Priests would wash, clothe, and present food offerings to the cult statue of the god within the temple's inner sanctum, ensuring the deity's continued favor and the stability of the kingdom. Perhaps the most profound belief that shaped Egyptian life was their detailed vision of the afterlife. Death was not an end, but a transition to another, eternal existence. To reach this paradise, known as the Field of Reeds, the deceased had to undergo a perilous journey through the underworld and pass the final judgment, where their heart was weighed against the feather of truth. This belief drove the intricate practice of mummification, designed to preserve the body for the soul's return, and the construction of elaborate tombs filled with everything a person might need in the next life: food, furniture, tools, and magical spells from the Book of the Dead to guide them on their way. When we think of ancient Egypt, our minds almost inevitably conjure images of its colossal architecture. The pyramids, temples, and tombs they constructed were not merely buildings, they were powerful statements of belief, power, and a quest for immortality. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the last surviving wonder of the ancient world, is a masterpiece of engineering and logistics. Built with over 2 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, its construction remains a subject of awe and debate. It was a perfectly aligned cosmic machine, a stairway to the heavens for the pharaoh Khufu. The construction of these monumental structures required an incredible level of social organization and mathematical precision. The Egyptians had a deep understanding of geometry and astronomy, which allowed them to align their pyramids to the cardinal points with astonishing accuracy. They organized a massive workforce, not of slaves as is often depicted, but of skilled laborers and seasonal farmers who worked on these national projects during the Nile's inundation period when farming was impossible. They quarried stone, transported it for miles along the river, and raised it into place using systems of ramps and levers, a testament to their collective effort and ingenuity. Beyond the pyramids, their temples were sprawling complexes designed to mirror the cosmos. The Temple of Karnak, for example, was built and expanded over a period of 2,000 years, becoming a vast city of sanctuaries, obelisks, and pylons dedicated to the gods. Its great hypostyle hall, with its forest of 134 massive, intricately carved columns, was designed to evoke a mythical papyrus swamp, the place of creation. These structures were built to last for eternity, physical manifestations of the Egyptians' deepest convictions, and a permanent legacy carved into the very stone of the desert. They are a silent, enduring testament to a civilization that dared to build for the gods, and for all time. And so, our journey through the sands of time comes to a close. From the glint of the Khopesh in the desert sun to the quiet reverence of the temple sanctum, we have seen but a glimpse of the incredible world the ancient Egyptians created. Their legacy is not just in the colossal monuments they left behind, but in the small details of their daily lives. The bread they baked, the water they managed, and the profound beliefs that gave their existence meaning. It is a civilization that, despite the millennia, continues to whisper its secrets to those who are willing to listen. The story of humanity is a vast and intricate mosaic, and ancient Egypt is one of its most vibrant and enduring pieces. I'm always fascinated to learn what resonates most with you. Was it the ingenious design of their weapons, the life-giving rhythm of the Nile, or their elaborate preparations for eternity? Please share your favorite fact or the aspect of their culture that most intrigued you in the comments below. Your insights and perspectives enrich this exploration for our entire community of history lovers. Thank you so much for joining me on this expedition into the past. If you enjoyed uncovering these secrets and wish to continue exploring the great civilizations of our world, please consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. There are countless more stories waiting to be told, and I would be honored to share them with you. Until our next journey together, stay curious,